You see the headlines everywhere, right? All this tension in the Persian Gulf. It can feel like we are constantly just one step away from a major conflict between the US and Iran. But how much of that is real and how much is just, well, noise? In this explainer, we're going to cut right through it. Okay, let's just get right to it because this is the question that really matters, isn't it? When you look at all the chatter, all the military posturing, how close are we, really, to an actual war? That's what we're here to figure out. And to get to the truth, we're going to do something pretty simple. We're going to separate what everyone is saying from what they're actually doing. We're going to check all that loud talk against the cold, hard evidence we can see on the ground and in the sky. So first up, let's talk about the rhetoric. This is the stuff you see all over the news, those sharp warnings and that tough talk that's designed to put everyone on edge. Now, listen to the language here. This is a direct line from official Iranian messaging. It's sharp, it's clear, and you know what? It's supposed to sound intimidating. This is exactly the kind of talk that makes everyone worried that a conflict could kick off at any moment. So, how much pressure is the Iranian regime really under? Well, intelligence analysts actually have a scale for this. They call it a regime stress level. And right now, it's sitting at about a 6.5 to a 7 out of 10. Now, that's high for sure. It's tense. But it's not a 10. It tells us they're feeling the heat, but they're not yet prepping the entire country for an all-out war. Okay, so that's the talk. But you know, words can be cheap. To find out what's really going on, we need to look at the data. So let's turn to the eyes in the sky and see what the planes are actually up to. Think of this part like detective work, you know? The flight paths, what kind of aircraft are flying, the patterns they make, they're all clues. And the clues from tonight? Well, they're pointing to a story that's very different from what the headlines might have you believe. So take a look at this. We're seeing U.S. Navy P-8A Poseidon aircraft flying over the Gulf. These things are basically flying intelligence hubs. But their missions tell the real story. They're keeping an eye on boat activity, watching commercial shipping, maybe looking for submarines. This is all standard surveillance. This is about watching, not about getting ready to strike. And what about other important flights in the area? Well, we've got an Israeli government jet on a transatlantic route, a Russian special flight going from Amman to Moscow. All the data suggests this is just routine, leadership travel, diplomatic staff rotations. The key thing here, these are not emergency flights. This is high-stakes business as usual, not an evacuation. All right, let's shift our focus from the skies to the ground and go inside Iran itself. Because, you know, sometimes the most important clue is what isn't happening. This slide right here is absolutely key. On the left, yeah, you see the indicators of stress. The currency is weak. There are more security forces on the streets. The state media is dialed up to 11. We see all that. But now look at the right side. These are the things that are missing. There's no full mobilization of the IRGC, their most powerful military force. We're not seeing them move their strategic missiles into launch positions. And this is critical. They haven't shut down civilian airspace. A country that's about to go to war does these things. Iran isn't. So we've got this really strange picture, don't we? A whole lot of tough talk, but no actual moves towards war. So how do we make sense of it? We have to decode the official messages coming from all sides. And what's so fascinating here is the symmetry. Look at this. The United States says its focus is on deterrence and protecting its forces. And Iran? They're framing their posture as defensive deterrence. Both sides are basically using their words and their military presence to say, don't you start something, not we're about to start something. And the rest of the region seems to be reading it the same way. Russia's calling for everyone to calm down. The Gulf states are trying quiet, back-channel diplomacy. But the biggest sign is still in the sky. Nobody is shutting down their airspace. If these countries truly believed a war was about to break out, those commercial flight paths would be totally empty. They're not. Okay, so let's pull all these different threads together. We've got the fiery talk, the flight data, the signs and lack of signs inside Iran, and all the official statements. What does it all add up to? It all adds up to this one key concept: heightened deterrence signaling. That's the technical name for the game being played right now. It's when you deliberately use military posturing and tough talk and very visible surveillance to send a crystal clear message to your opponent. We're strong, we're watching, so don't even think about it. It's a show of force designed to prevent a fight, not to start one. So, the verdict is this. When we separate the rhetoric from the reality, all the evidence we have points to a very high stakes, very dangerous game of signaling and maneuvering, but it does not point to the brink of an immediate all-out war. And this leaves us with one final, really critical question. This whole situation is a delicate balance, right? A tense standoff that's built on sending and receiving signals correctly. So, in this high-stakes game, with all this noise and posturing, what happens if one side misreads the other? That is the real danger that remains. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.